My name is Brad Newburg. I'm a vice president of a safety company for the oil and gas and agricultural industries here in the Valley. So Souly Business, it was introduced to me as a men's retreat. Really wasn't given a lot of specifics on what it was going to include or incorporate, other than that God was going to be there and that I had a chance to really grow in my walk and understanding of Him and having a relationship with Him. God showed me how He loves me. He never left me. I had moved from San Diego to Bakersfield 3 years early for this work opportunity, not quite knowing what His plan was for me. But He had introduced me to a gentleman named Mitch Garland through a work association who had told me about the Influencers Group and about M42 and the men's fellowship journey group that he was a part of. And he invited me to become a part of that breakfast group each morning. That was where the softening truly began for me. I was always a lukewarm Christian, checking boxes. And I found for the first time in a long time a group of men that were sincere, that sought after Christ intimately and genuinely. And it was really what I needed, because it was loosely structured, which if it was any other way, I probably would have not engaged it the way that I did. So God knew my heart. God knew what He needed to do to speak to me. And so He got me involved with these group of men. And thankfully, the leader of that group, Jeremy Herron, had invited me one day to attend another influencers event called M6. And it was months before I ended up attending Souly Business, but that's where the connection comes from, is that at this M6 there was a speaker named Joe. And Joe got a chance to tell his testimony of going through life and facing some major challenges, both with his health and within the family. And he talked about the lessons he had learned and the intimacy that he had learned from his father. And all along this time, I knew I was still lukewarm. Even though I was in the group with the men's group that I was doing on Friday mornings, I knew I wasn't committing. And so as I walked away from that M6 event, walking to my truck, God just put a really heavy weight on me. He said, "I'm not done with you. You need to turn around and go back in there, and you need to talk to somebody." Well, prior to that event, Jeremy had told me that there's this gentleman named Les Piercy, that if you ever need anything, you can always come to me, but you can always go to Les, because he was such a great mentor to me. Well, Les happened to still be hanging around when I walked back into the event, and I had never met him before. And I didn't have any fear. God just told me I need to go talk to him. So I walked straight up to Les at that time and I said, "Les, I need more. I need more of God in my life, because I'm just walking. I'm just checking boxes." And within seconds, Les, not knowing who I was or my story, just simply said, are you available August 25th to the 28th of this year? Because I have an event that I think is going to fill what you're looking for. And I said, "Whatever it is, if that's what you believe, I'm in, and I'll commit to it right now." And so that event happened to be Souly Business. And then I get chills all up and down my body just thinking about the fact that there's no coincidence in life. And that God had His hand on me the entire time. And I'm very thankful that because of Les and his relationship with God and our Father, that he was able to heed His word and understand that that was the moment for Him to offer that to me, and be patient and diligent in understanding that that's exactly what I needed. And that's how it connected the dots. So, the influencers group has been influencing me before they even knew, and God was using them as that type of a tool in my life. Everything's changed since I've been home. Immediately when I got off the plane and was able to get home to my wife, we stayed up for hours that night just trying to encapsulate what God had done in my life over the weekend. And He had put upon my heart that there was some admitting and confession that needed to be done to my wife, with my wife, on some things that I hadn't even shared with her. Weeks before that, my wife was very unhappy in the relationship. I was working too much and focused on other things in my life, but that night was an answer to that prayer that I know she prayed and I prayed when she expressed her concerns of our relationship, and that was the beginning of what was to become a completely restored, radically changed marriage. So that's how it affected my personal life. From a professional standpoint in the marketplace, which is a big part of Souly Business, is that immediately when I got back in, I brought all my managers into my office individually, and I told them that I was going to take a different managing approach with each and every one of them. That they may see things differently from me, they may see me praying at work, they may see me praying for them, and they would definitely see me managing them differently, more intentionally. And I instruct them, hey, if it made you uncomfortable in any way while I do this, please let me know, but know this is who I am and this is what you will see. And I can tell you 2 of the managers broke down right in my office, and we got a chance to share in Christ immediately. So, God's still working. I'm confident and excited about what He will continue to do in my life and those around me, and allow me to pay it forward and be an influencer to others.